Well, hello. As you can see, I am doing some light reading here because every single one of these books tells a story. And of course, in the really good ones, there are lots of individual stories. Just like in your presentation. Your presentation tells a story. And inside that presentation, you've got to have really good, juicy stories that keep people on the edge of their seats. So I've got 3 quick tips for you on how to tell better stories. Additionally, I've got more tips below. So you can see if you go below the video, there's a link to 50 speaker tips. You click that, you'll get a whole plethora of tips that are going to help you give better presentations and steal the show. Enjoy. Craft your stories so that the entire story is designed to serve the end of the story. So stories have 3 acts. Act 1 is the exposition, the given circumstances, the time, the setting, the place. Act 2 is the conflict. And Act 3 is the resolution. And the resolution needs to be something that is worth waiting for. So if you have tons of exposition and even a lot of really effective conflict that produces lots of action, but the resolution is kind of meh, then the audience feels disappointed. It wasn't worth waiting for. So make sure that you're designing that story, you're sculpting that story to serve the end of the story, the resolution of the story. You do not have to tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. What about wonder and suspense? Imagine that you turned on the TV to watch an episode of Breaking Bad, and Bryan Cranston is not in costume, and he says, hey, by the way, look, here's what's going to happen in today's episode. I'm going to find out I have cancer. Then I'm going to decide to deal drugs. Then I'm going to meet some drug dealers who are not so nice, so I'll dissolve them in acid. You wouldn't want to watch because you already know what's going to happen. So part of our job as performers is to create suspense and wonder. So they're excitedly anticipating what is coming because they're so enthralled with what you're doing in the moment rather than spoon feeding them before you actually speak with them. Often, when you're presenting to an audience or you're pitching an idea, what you're presenting can be confronting to them because you may be asking them to change the way they see the world in some way. And so if we're going to ask people to change the way they see the world in some way, then it's helpful if they believe that we understand the way the world looks to them. Because if they create distance, if they think we're somehow so different than them that we don't understand them, they might say, no, well, I'm interested in that, but they don't really understand me, I'm different. But if you can demonstrate that you understand the way the world looks to the people in the room, then they tend to drop their guard and are much more open to considering your ideas and maybe even changing the way they think, the way they feel, and what they do.